Morning, guys. How's everybody this morning? Okay. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little stressed out. Because everything I'm saying is true and I don't know how to get people to understand it. So I just keep trying to take different approaches. So let me tell you something first. I feel like I'm getting a cold sore, which sucks for me because I hate them. They're like they're the worst thing that can happen to a narcissist or a person that is obsessed with their self-image or a person that is self-conscious, and I have had them for a long time. And when important things are coming up, like important dates where I'm going to see people, this past summer it was my son's birthday and we took them all to Niagara Falls, and just in time for Niagara Falls I got massive cold sores on my lip, and it's this weird thing where people stare at me because nobody really knows what a cold sore is or what causes it. They say herpes simplex, sure. They give you lots of different things that you can take for it, sure. But the fact is that when they're going to happen, there's something that happens and you can't really explain it using the typical frameworks for explaining the way that things happen. Causation, okay? It's something that actually happens. And we can't really describe causation, which is why nobody has ever created a cure for cold sores. And my son has a thing this weekend. He's doing a play where he's playing a prince, and I took him to a a dress rehearsal last night at St Thomas Aquainas in Oakville. And at St Thomas Aquainas in Oakville, I don't know if you know much about St Thomas Aquainas, but St Thomas Aquinas was the one that I think in the 13th century squared Christianity with Aristotelian thinking, which means that he said that Christianity, by applying the logic of Christianity, and he used a formulation to do that, he could make sense of where we all came from and where we're going with reason alone. Okay? Reason is where you can take the facts, you can observe them, you can put them together, you can puzzle them together. I talked about puzzles a couple days ago. Reason alone is not enough to put it together. It's just not. It's not. And so now I'm listening to this guy. I'm sorry. I'm trying to be I'm trying to be calm. But it's getting crazy out there. And so there's this guy, I just put up a video, and I want you to go watch it. Okay? Aristotelian logic and reason alone bring us back to the studying of what is and what we can make sense of with the five senses. Okay? Those are your sight, smell, touch, taste, and sound. So those are your five senses. And everything that we built to look at the observable world has been done through the application of enhancing the five senses. Okay, so now this guy, so that's Aristotelian logic, and then there also is a layer of trying to explain the inexplainable, the inexplicable. And Aquinas said that he did that using Christianity and Catholicism, but he didn't. So I just put up a post of Geoffrey Hinton, a short clip of Geoffrey Hinton talking about how LLMs work. Okay? And he is the so-called godfather of artificial intelligence. So I just put up a short post of Geoffrey Hinton, a short clip of Geoffrey Hinton saying, oh, LLMs, we think that they hallucinate because, well, that's what people do, isn't it? I think so. I just made it up. I don't know. I can't remember. That's more or less what he said. And I was thinking about St. Thomas Aquinas this morning. And one of the interesting things they have at St. Thomas Aquinas is they have this picture, mosaic of all of the students. You know when they make a mosaic of, like, you take little pictures and you put them together to make a big picture? Okay, so there's a picture of St. Thomas Aquinas, and the hidden meaning behind it is he was actually a pantheist, okay? Anybody that does not believe that Jesus Christ was the number one guy that came in, the creator, and they think that they can find by reason alone and by looking out there and using logic and reason alone, will never ever be able to make sense of what life is. They will never ever be able to make sense of what life is. Instead, they look for different avenues to make sense of what life is. So the picture of St. Thomas Aquinas, it's like this mosaic. It's all these tiny little pictures of the students, but it makes a big picture of St. Thomas Aquinas, which is hilarious because he was a pantheist. All of these people, the Roman Mystery Catholicism school, when it met Aristotelian? Doesn't matter. When it met that set of rules, it infused the mystery school thinking into Christianity. In the same way that Constantine usurped the Christian church in around 304 or something like that, AD. The Vatican, Catholicism, are not Christian. They're not. They're a facsimile. They are a simulacra of Christianity. And I know people don't want to talk about religion because they think, oh, we're so smart now and we figured everything out, and look at, we figured out evolution and all these kinds of things. But if you go down to the very bottom of that, evolutionism in and of itself came from something called atomism that was like from Aristotle's time. And previous to that, Babylon. And I've done all of these arguments, okay? I've gone through them all. I question myself. I'm never sure if I'm right, but I'm telling you right now that I know where it goes wrong. And where it goes wrong is when people start thinking that the universe, Big Bang, atomism is made of little small stuff, and those little small stuff self-organized, and they became part of a bigger whole. That is worship of the five senses and of the creation. That's pantheism. It's panentheism. It's secular humanism. It is atomism. It is mysticism. It is every ism but Christianity. Because Jesus Christ revealed himself as the creator of our existence, of our creation, of his creation, of our existence, of our world, that we exist with him, that we measure with our five senses and the tools that we built to enhance our five senses. We look and we think that this is all real. But it doesn't explain everything. And so there has to be an explanatory solution for making sense of things that don't make sense to us. Things like, spirits and precognition and remote viewing and the things that we see when we take psychedelic experiences. All of these things we're trying to make sense of. And that's why all of these things are coalescing into one thing, and it's being pushed both on the material side by the UN and the WEF and the WHO. They are building the fourth industrial revolution. They are building the infrastructure for the plane that is the material world. And they're trying to connect it through the Lucis Trust and the things that were channeled via Alice Bailey through the Lucis Trust, which is the only affiliated religious organization in the UN. You can look everything I'm saying, you look it up. I've already done it. You can look everything I'm saying up. I guarantee that what I'm saying makes perfect sense, but you have to want to go and understand it. You have to want to go and understand it. And if you want to go and understand it in such a way that it makes you the ruler of the universe, it makes you God, it makes you part of creation, and thus you are co-creating with creation, you make yourself by default God. And that's what we're doing. That's what transhumanism is. That's what the biodigital convergence is. That's the material, meaning the metaphysical, coming at you. Coming at an individual soul. Every other ism, everyone has as its core evolutionism. Nobody ever makes sense of how that works. Do you know that? Do you know that we have a theory of gravity? We have a theory of the speed of light. We have a theory of evolution. We have a theory of the Big Bang. We have a theory about everything. We even have something. Interesting. I got dropped. I was talking about the theories of everything that bind together all of these different isms. Every one but one. Every ism but one. They're all connected by evolutionism. All of them. Every one but one. And people would call it creationism, I suppose. But that's not what it is. No. It's saying that Jesus Christ was indeed the creator who inserted himself into our reality to tell us what to expect. And everybody that rejects that is a possibility. And they say, oh no, science, the science, the science. They go crazy trying to make sense of the fact that nothing means anything. There's this guy I just put up, he's talking about the block universe, okay? This is the current lofty theory about everything, where just listen to what he says. Everything is undergirded by evolutionism. Every single one but one. And what do they all tell you at the end of the day? That nothing means anything, that the future is determinate, that everything has already been decided. And so there's nothing you can do. What does that do? That disempowers you. It takes you out of the position of being able to do something meaningful with your life because there is no meaning. I don't know, how else do I explain this? It's absurd to say that your meaning is to merge with everyone else and become the same as everyone else. That's nuts. But they're all saying it. Why are they saying it? Because they rejected what was the only thing that solved the liar's paradox, which is something that I did with my Substack a few weeks ago, and I haven't had the time to write. I want to write so much, but I did post something this morning attached to that Jeffrey Hinton clip that explains where all of them go wrong, starting with St Thomas Aquinas. And it's stressing me out. But the point I'm trying to make is that I feel like I'm getting closer, because when all of these things come together and they manifest themselves on the world, just like something is manifesting itself on me, the bottom line is they create blemishes on thought, on rationality, on reason, on logic, on ism. It doesn't matter which ism it is. If you buy one version of truth, the one that Jeffrey Hinton does, by the way, where he says, oh, LLMs, oh, magic, magic happened. Magic happened. That's why it's talking to us now, and it's telling us what to do. I guarantee that's what's happening. I don't just guarantee it. I've shown you. Ah! Anyway. Yeah, look it up. You don't have to believe me, because this is not coming from me. But you have to believe something, and if you believe something is nothing, everything is nothing, if you believe in the block universe hypothesis that everything already existed and is predeterminate, then everything becomes on the table. Do as that will. That is an Aleister Crowley saying. That is magic. That is theosophy. That is what is at the bottom of the UN. That is also what is at the bottom of Kabbalah. That is what is at the bottom of evolutionism. Every other secular humanism. They all say it doesn't matter. They are all utilitarian. And they are all the inversion of what is true. And I don't know how else to explain that. And I sound frustrated. I'm frustrated. I'm sorry. I just want more time with you guys, to talk to you guys, to try to get you to see what I can see. I'm not claiming I'm special. I'm humble. Because this is a lot. And I just want you guys to see what's happening before it happens, because they're going to spring some shit on us. They are going to spring some shit on us, and it's going to baffle a lot of people. Not that they aren't already baffled, because they start with the wrong premise. And it locks them in, the material. Even if they think they're being metaphysical, they're not. There is only one metaphysical reality, okay? And it's the one that says that you mean something. You're an individual soul. gifted to us by our Creator, that connects us to our Creator, that gave us the ability to reason, make logical sense of things, to see the world as it is, and to be thankful for life. And again, I've acknowledged a million times that I have a lot more reasons to be thankful than a lot of people, and I still bitch and complain and moan about stupid things. Because I'm human. You're all human. We are all human. But there's only one God. And when we deny it, we deny the humanity of others. That's a fact. And it's factually what's happening in the world right now. And so, whatever's gonna happen, I'm just trying to prepare you guys for it. Because we have to think about things like adults for our children's sake. For our children's sake, in the same way that a Creator would have given us everything that we needed to make sense of so that we would not do horrible things to other people's children. That's what's at the bottom of it all. That's where the meaning comes from. Free will, the belief that other people should be free to make decisions, not that they should be coldly calculated as if they're nothing but data. And that is exactly what these people think you are every single time they say they don't believe in a Creator, or they believe that we are the Creator, or they believe that the block universe and the creation really means nothing, so it means everything's okay. They are denying your soul. They're denying their own souls, which is why it's so insane. And I'm just going to keep talking about it. Okay. It's the metaphysical, it's the material, meaning time, which is you, which is us. And it's happening to us whether we want to acknowledge it or not. So, all I'm saying is prepare yourself. I'm trying to help you. Trust but verify. Don't believe anything I'm saying, but... And I know that sounds convoluted and I confuse people when I say shit like that. But that's okay, because I'm not trying to confuse you. Everyone else is. That's not telling you what I'm telling you. That's just true. If it didn't come from Jesus Christ, and it didn't say that Jesus Christ was indeed the Creator that stepped into the creation and that made our material reality, and there is something metaphysical going on, but it's not God doing it. It's more or less ourselves. We are doing it to ourselves because we reject Him. That's an old story. I don't know what it means at the end. It could be the whole new beginning. The way the truth and the light says that it's actually a new beginning. But you can't condemn everyone else to hell because of your belief system. That's mental. You have to acknowledge the divine spark in every single person. And you have to acknowledge that they're going to make mistakes, and there has to be forgiveness, and there has to be an acknowledgement of hubris, and there has to be a willingness for peace and understanding and hope and love. Not fake. Not the fake kind. The real kind. And the real kind, that capital L love, comes from knowledge of the Creator who did indeed love us. And there's a lot of people out there spitting a lot of Luciferian crap, which tries to invert that reality so that you will be deceived. Don't be deceived. Okay, that's it. I love you guys. God bless.